My name's Melissa. Welcome to this 30-minute vinyasa class. We'll start at the front of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, forward fold. At the bottom, let your head go down. Feet are about a hip width apart, and just let your body sway left to right. If you'd like, you can catch opposite elbows as you hang, seeing if you can ease the torso closer towards the thighs and closer towards the floor. Releasing the hands to the mat, we'll take the feet back and step back to downward facing dog. Once you get to downward facing dog, feel free to pedal out the legs, pressing the heels towards the ground and lifting the sit bones towards the sky. See if you can straighten your arms, finding length through the torso and the back. On an inhale, lift your heels and ripple forward towards a plank. Pausing there, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go back, downward facing dog. Again, stretch it out, shift if you need. And again, ripple forward, come towards the plank. If you need to, you can always be on your knees, holding here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to lower onto our front, so slow as you can, moving the body in one piece. Meet the floor, untuck the toes, and take your hands a little wider than the mat. So maybe the hands are on the floor beside the mat. On an inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, let go. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, let it go. So I'm just finding the lift with the strength of my back, not pressing into the hands. Inhale, baby cobra, and let it go. On an inhale, find the baby cobra that you had the last 3 times. See if you can hold and if you can squeeze the back muscles. And then start to add a little press through the fingertips. Hands are a little bit wide, hands are a little bit forward. So even in the straight arm position, your cobra is a bit more shallow than it might be if your hands were close. Use your triceps and resist as you come down. And then bring the hands closer to the sides and press into the hands and knees, hips towards the heels. Child's pose. Shift your body forward, tabletop. And in your tabletop, maybe side to side. Feeling the movement through the shoulders, the wrists, and the hips. And then as you pause through center, lift the rib cage. So you're finding the cat pose shape. And then see if you can take your ribs to the side, belly down like you're going to cow, and then ribs to the left. So thinking about moving in a circular manner through a cat-cow, arms stay straight. Right now I'm moving in a, clockwise way. And then we'll switch directions. So whichever direction you are circling, go the other way. See if you can really exaggerate the cat and cow as you circle. And then just pausing in center. Tuck your toes, float the knees, hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Downward facing dog. The right leg will reach up nice and high, 3-leg dog, and then step the right foot forward. Pausing here, fingertips, reach your chest forward, reach your tail back, and try to feel an elongation from the crown of the head to the left heel. If you've been practicing a while, work to square the hips, right hip back, left hip forward for 5, 4, 3, maybe your fingertips even feel a little bit light, 3, 2, and 1. Left hand on the floor, lift the right arm, arms in one line, looking up to the right thumb. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Allow the left knee to kiss the floor, and then start to come up, right hand reaching back, left arm reaching forward. Option to just stay here, or maybe start to find a little back bend. Left arm is reaching up, right arm is reaching down. Reach a little bit more through the left fingers. See if you can get even a bit taller. Right, so that height that you pull up through the left side is going to translate to more stretch through the front of your left hip. Bring both hands to the floor, and we'll step back, downward facing dog. So option to flow, if you prefer not to flow and would rather rest, then certainly stay in downward facing dog. Otherwise, shift your body forward to plank. You can lower from your knees or from your toes, halfway or all the way, upward facing and downward facing. Take a few breaths. Check in if you need to take more rest. Always valuing your rest when you need it. We'll take the left leg high, 3-leg dog. So I like square hips, straight leg, and then big step forward with the left foot. Pause. Back leg stays off the floor. So I'm on fingertips. I'm drawing the left hip back, the right hip forward. And again, thinking about the straight line from the crown of the head all the way to my right heel. More experience, maybe you're trying to find a bit more lightness through the hands, so you're really starting to engage the legs and the core. Flatten my right hand to the mat and guide the left arm straight up. Arms in one line, push the mat away. See if you can reach a little bit more towards the sky. And then keeping the arms like this, allow the right knee to kiss the floor. Keeping the arms wide, left arm is reaching back to help lift me. Arms are wide, you could stay here. This is a good place to be. If you'd like a bit more, left arm down, right arm up. Try to really reach through the right side of the body. You could look up, you could look down over your left shoulder. Maybe you commit more to the bend of your left knee. We'll sweep both hands to the floor. Step it back, downward facing dog. Option to add in flow or take rest. Forward to plank. Lower halfway or all. Upward facing. Downward facing. The right leg, reach up. Big step forward with the right foot and come into a high lunge. So take your time to set up your feet. You want hip width apart and then come up, arms up. You can soften your back knee and then we'll twist to the right, so arms wide. I find the bend in the back knee helps me create a bit of a better twist, right? A little bit more space. Inhale, arms forward. Exhale, twist. So I'm trying to stabilize through the lower body as I twist. Inhale up. And last time, exhale, twist, and I'm going to stay in the twist. So right here, you're already challenging your balance. You might stay, you might add, again, that reach through the left arm. And as I reach, it might feel good to work to straighten the back leg a bit more, bend the front knee a little bit more. And then we'll take both hands to the mat. So keeping the back knee lifted, straighten your front leg. Now your hands could be on blocks, right? Especially if it's hard to reach. You could put your back knee on the floor. That could make it more accessible as well. Check in with your spine. It's probably a tendency to really want to round or crouch in. So if you are folding in a bit deeper, can you still maintain somewhat of a neutral spine? That will just bring more of that effort towards your hips and your hamstring. arms. Pressing really firmly into the hands and the left toes. Can you take that right leg back, maybe even keeping the leg straight? Downward facing dog. Shift it forward to plank. Lower part weight all the way. Upward facing. And downward facing. Left leg's going up. 3-leg dog. Left foot steps. So as you take that step, try to have your feet about a hip width apart. So you have the stability to come up. High lunge. Find the high lunge. Make sure you feel secure and your torso is upright. I like to soften the right knee to make the twist a little bit easier as I go to the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to twist. Inhale, arms up. And exhale to twist. And we're going to stay open on the twist. And again, this is a really good place to be, especially if you're feeling a little bit shaky on the balance. Otherwise, adding the reach up through the right arm. See if you can find more reach through the right arm, maybe even straightening the right leg and bending more into the left knee. You can look up, you can look down. Bring both hands to the floor on either side of the left foot, and I'm going to straighten my front leg. So if I need to, I could put the right knee on the floor. You could have hands on blocks. Reach your chest forward. If you want to hinge, feel that work through the left hip crease. Take my hands flat to the floor. Option here to go back to downward dog. So if you want to try keeping that left leg straight. Press really firmly into the hands, even round the back. Press into the right toes and pull the left leg up from the hip to go back downward facing dog. Option to add in flow or not. Like flow, upward facing, and downward facing. Good job. Take a little rest here. Notice how you feel. Check in with your breath. Downward dog is a place where we like to reset. And if it's hard to do that, right? If you have any kind of discomfort in the shape, it's probably better to take a different pose, maybe child's pose, maybe tabletop instead. All right, we'll walk our feet forward towards the hands. You could also step or jump if those movements are in your practice. Lift your chest up halfway so you're nice and long, and then exhale, fold. Now hold here in the fold. And again, options with your fold. If you want to just relax, you can hold your elbows. If you want something a little more active, maybe grab onto the sides of your ankles, your legs. Try to pull the leg up towards the hip to see if you can elongate the torso down. And go ahead, release the hands, and inhale, come all the way up to stand. And exhale, hands down. Inhale, reach. And exhale, fold. Inhale, go long. Hands down. Step back, go to plank, lower. Upward facing, and downward facing. Right leg high. Coming to the high lunge, right foot steps. Arms up, high lunge. So as you hold your high lunge, try to feel tall, try to feel lifted. An open warrior two. So I pivot, heel down to the ground, heels at the back, toes a little bit forward, and then arms wide. Bend into your front knee, arms reaching across. On an inhale, reach back. So this is a reverse warrior. And take that length and bring it forward, coming into half moon. So half moon might be a place where you want to have a block under the hand. Right fingertips are on the floor. Left leg is lifting up. Left hand is lifting up too. If you feel comfortable, you might take your gaze up to your left hand as well. If you're feeling balance is a little bit testy today, you might keep your eyes down on the ground. Really nice. We're going to step the foot way back, bending the front knee. See if you can land your warrior two. And if it takes a couple steps, if you need to adjust, that's totally okay. We'll work to straighten the front leg, and now reach the right arm forward in space. As I reach, my right arm is tracking above the right leg, and then right hand down, left hand up, triangle. Again, try to feel that openness across the chest that you had in your half moon pose. I will bend my front knee. Let's put the elbow on that knee. Try not to lean, but rather just have that as a landmark to know that I'm at a depth of angle that suits the side angle pose. And then I'm going to look again forward. So thinking about coming back to the half moon pose, again, using your block if you need to. The right hand can reach. I'm going to step into the right foot and lift the left leg. So option again, look down if you need to. Look up if you feel okay. Option here, bend the left knee and maybe find the left ankle or foot. Now this is Sugarcane pose. You're pressing the top of your foot into your hand. Right? If you can't quite find the foot, don't worry about it. Just stay in half moon. Go for another 3. You got it. 2. And 1. As you look down to the floor, release the foot, place the foot, hip width from the right. Let your head go down. Take a moment. You can shift side to side. What do you need right now to release? Inhale, standing up. Exhale, folding forward. I'm going to set up for the other side. Inhale, flat back. Hands to the mat, plank, and lower. Upward facing and downward facing. So this other side, I'm just going to turn around on my mat. You stay where you are so that I can be facing you in these poses. So from our downward dog, we'll go up with the left leg, 3-leg dog, and then look for your high lunge. Set it up nicely so you have that hip width apart. You can feel like stable through the foundation as you lift the arms. And open to the side, warrior 2. So when I come to warrior 2 and place that right heel down, again, the heel is the furthest point back on the mat. I don't want the toes flared to the back of the mat. And again, you might be sinking a bit deeper if that's a part of your practice. If you have that opening through the hip, the lower. And reverse, take it back. And then as I come forward, I'm looking for my half moon. So the left hand lands on a block or on the floor. Right leg lifts up. Right hand lifts up as well. So just a tip for those of you who are having a bit of trouble in the balance, you want to get your left hand slightly to the left and forward of the foot. Right, if your hand's too close to the foot, that can be really challenging. Try to look for a bit of stillness, a bit of calm if you've been practicing for a while. I'm going to bend the left knee and see if my right foot can find warrior 2. So you're taking quite a big step back, using the obliques to pull you back up, warrior two. All right, we're going to straighten the front leg and then reach. So it's like I'm gliding my torso forward over static legs. Legs don't change, legs are straight. Left hand down, right hand up. And I should feel that same openness across the chest, length through both sides of the body that you had in half moon. Here you're in triangle. I'm going to make this triangle side angle pose. So keeping this long diagonal, I'm going to bend the front knee and bring the elbow to the knee. Again, not trying to lean hard into that knee, more just to find it as a place to find the alignment. Try to keep the right shoulder rolling back. And as you look down to the ground, the left hand is going to look for the floor, finding your half moon on the side. So as I step, pick up the right leg, find your balance, make it long, make it strong. As you hold, try to find that stillness, try to hold your shape, and if it's a part of your practice, you might start to bend the right knee. Look for it with the right hand. If you do find it, press the top of the foot into the hand so that you get a little bit of quad stretch. And your body, you're still looking to feel like you're in half moon, just the leg is bent. Right, so my knee isn't going up to the sky, it's still staying in line with the torso. Okay, so if you have your foot, we're going to release the foot. We're going to look down to the ground, place both hands on the mat, bring the right foot hip width from the left, and just let yourself hang. I encourage you to bend your knees, really let it go. It should feel like a bit of a break. And if it feels good to sway the hips, great. Finding even more release down here, then do so. Okay, we'll press into the feet. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Good, and exhale all the way down. Coming towards the forehead down. Inhale, go long. And hands to the mat. I'm going to flow, plank, lower, upward, downward. Check in with your breath. Notice how it feels. Step, walk, or jump up towards your hands, your chest. You can have your feet hip width or closer together, depending on what's comfortable for you. Bend the knees. Inhale, reach the arms. Find yourself in chair pose. So your seat is back, your chest is up, your arms hopefully alongside your ears. And if that's not comfortable for the shoulders, the arms can be just straight forward. Press to stand. Take a moment, take a breath. So we've been practicing some fairly intense balances, and we're going to see if we can work a little bit more with our balance. This time we'll do one side, then the other side, without the flow in between. We're going to work on dancer's pose. I'll maybe start at an angle so you can see my working side, and then I'll turn for the other side. Right hand out to the side to catch the foot. Now, there's two ways to catch your foot. You could be holding the top of the foot this way. It will limit how far your leg can go, right? So if you're just working on balance and just trying to stay upright, maybe this is the easier choice. If you are comfortable to have your hand hold the instep of the foot, so the inside of the foot instead of the outside, you might be able to take the leg up a little bit higher. So I like to start with my thighs parallel. Left arm reaching, and I find the left arm reaching helps to keep my torso upright and give me a little direction for my pose. And feel free to stay right here if this feels challenging to you. When you feel that your left ankle, right, has sort of settled down, it's no longer shaking, right, you can start to take the right knee back in space. And again, just go slow. Take your time. I try to keep my upper body lifted as best I can. And I also think about turning the front of my hip to face the floor, right, opposed to turning entirely outwards, like our half-moon. So it's a bit different in that sense. And then when you feel good, come on out. And if you fall out early, don't worry, you can come right back in. Maybe you just take a break and you just try to find some stillness so that you can feel good for your other side. I'm going to do other hand. So right now my right leg is my supporting leg, my right leg is my standing leg. Left hand is going to catch the left foot. Again, to recap, the maybe easier grip is holding the top of the foot from the outside of the foot. Again, it's going to limit how far your arm can go back. So if you're intending to kick a little bit further, I encourage you to take the second hand position, which is left hand holding the instep of the foot. Right arm can reach. Again, thinking of the reach to help guide the torso upwards, the chest lifted. Thighs are parallel to start. Maybe I start to press the left knee back in space, right? But you can stay just at the bottom of your pose here, just working out the balance, waiting for that right ankle to settle down, right? No rush. You'll know when to go. You'll know when you feel it. Left leg can journey back. And I try to match the effort of pushing or kicking into my hand with the pull with the hand and the shoulder. So I'm matching effort. And then the left hip is also slightly rolling towards the floor, looking for a bit of squaring. Maybe you can hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Take your time to come out. Pause, maybe in mountain pose at the top of your mat. And close your eyes. Sometimes it feels good to sway, right? You'll be feeling these internal movements of your body, and maybe you follow them. Or maybe you just find stillness so you can more intimately feel them only on the inside. Long breath in, long breath out. I'll bring my feet close again to find that chair pose. As I sit, my arms are reaching. So a lot like downstairs pose where you're lifting the chest. Right, arms helping you direct it. And then go ahead and sit onto the floor. If you need to use your hands to avoid that crash landing, use your hands on the floor. Good. From here, you can walk your feet a little bit forward and roll down the spine. So as you roll down, tuck your tail, take your time, see how slowly you can make it down to the floor. And then arms can come down. I'm going to walk my feet a little closer to me. Maybe you can raise your heels, or I actually like the heels a bit forward of that place, and feet about a hip width apart. As I step into my feet, my knees are going to reach forward. Finding myself here in bridge pose. I'm holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lowering. Now, if you feel like you are in the mood for a wheel pose, by all means, take yourself up. I'm going to go for another bridge. Pressing into the feet, knees reaching forward, back of the upper arms pushing down. Hold it here. Really nice. And then again, see if you can control the descent. If it feels good to lift your heels to help you descend with more control, then you do that. My arms are coming out to the side, a little bit like a letter T shape, knees to chest, twist. And then twist the other way. bring your legs back through center. Give your knees a hug. If you feel okay to do a happy baby, maybe catching the feet or the ankles, right? Bring the knees down beside the rib cage, heels stacked above the knees. Widen your back on the floor. Either happy baby or just knees to chest. And then we'll wind it down, legs coming towards the floor, arms down the sides, just softening the face. And relax into the mat. Let the weight of the body sink. If you have more time today to stay in your final rest, perhaps for another 3 or 4 minutes, that would be ideal. But if you have to get on with the day, start to bring some awareness back to the body, moving the fingers and toes, rotating the wrists and the ankles, stretching the arms and the legs. You can bring the knees towards the chest and you can roll onto the side. And from your side, when you feel ready, coming up to sit. Thank you so much for sharing your day with me. Thank you for your energy, for practicing yoga, and especially for all of your efforts. Have a wonderful rest of your day.